Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. We are back with the second of the Battle Spirits Saga starter decks. This is going to be talking about purple. If you have not checked out my review for the first starter deck, which is red, please do check that out. Should be up there, or if not, you should be able to see it down the sidebar or go on my channel. You know how YouTube works, you're smart. So please do go and check that out. As a reminder, if you have not seen that video though, and you're not planning on, kind of rude. Firstly, 80% of you are not subscribed, so do us a favor and hit subscribe, because that would put me at like, basically, like 5k, and that'd be kind of nice. So, it'd be more than that actually, but I'm close to 2, so that'd be really cool. And more importantly than me shilling myself, worth noting that basically all the cards that are common in these starter decks you're going to be getting 4 copies of. All the cards that are higher rarity than common you're only getting 2 copies of, so you need 2 copies of this starter deck, and believe me, you need 2. So let's go ahead and see exactly why this is one of my, if not my favourite colours in this game. We begin with Dark King Snake Pendacles, we'll go with Pendacles. This is the X-Rare for the starter deck. So this is a 7 cost with 3 reductions. When summoned at any level, select one of your opponent's spirits, remove all but 1 core from it and place it into their reserve. So obviously this is a card that's going to scale very much with how big one of your opponent's things is. And then at level 2 or 3, when this spirit attacks, select one of your opponent's spirits and remove a core from it and place it into their trash. So obviously the combo here is you play this at level 2, so you are paying it for 7. You choose one of your opponent's things, it doesn't matter what level it is, doesn't matter nothing. You go, okay, everything minus 1 goes from that, and then you swing and you can delete that thing. So, obviously, this is a very powerful effect, just pretty much blanket removal. It's a little expensive, but it's not that expensive. So, yeah, I think this is a really powerful card, great boss monster, and every turn it hangs around, it becomes more and more threatening, because there are plenty of ways to remove cores from your opponent's cards. Let's look at Dragonaga Assassin. This is a Serpent, 3 with 1 reduction. At level 2 or level 3, when the spirit attacks, it has Curse. If one of your opponent's spirits blocks, destroy it when the battle ends. So this is a very powerful effect. And when it attacks, draw a card if it has a Soul Core on it. So yeah, cool. Obviously, at level 3, you are going to be paying 5 for this, which is a little bit expensive. For a card you're essentially just throwing away to, trade with something your opponent really would rather not lose. So I don't think you're ever going to really be using that level 3 effect, but that level 2 and level 3 effect is really, really powerful. So obviously you are needing to invest sort of a bare minimum. Next, we've got Saga Snake. So this is a 3 with 1 reduction at level 1 or level 2. During your attack step, if there's a soul core on the spirit, it cannot be blocked by any of your own spirits with only 1 core on them. So as we just said, lots of ways to reduce your opponent's cores. So this can be really annoying, actually, if you build up 2 or 3 of these and then you just go, okay, and now I'm going to spend this turn getting rid of almost all your cores, and your opponent doesn't just have an instant out to something like this, which they very well might. For example, red has Firewall, where they just go, okay, well, your things can't attack, so it doesn't do anything. But in this niche scenario where you have multiple of these, and you manage to control all your opponent's all your opponent's cores amounts, then yeah. Actually, you only have 1 soul core. Then you just get the attack for free. But yeah, so that doesn't even work. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, it's fine. As a little sneaky game closer, it could be quite nice. If you are able to just, get your opponent down to 1 hit for win, and they can't just out this, it can be quite good. But yeah, unlikely to see a lot of play, in my opinion. Then we got, I apologise for the crap quality on this. I could not for the life of me find card number 4 on the official account anywhere. So I have no idea where it got revealed. Probably in one of the videos, but yeah, the Mumura, this is a 4 with 1 reduction. At 3, at level 2, becomes a 5k, which is alright. When summoned, select one of your opponent's spirits, remove a core from it, and place it into their reserve. So this is actually really good, because again, if your opponent is sort of doing the bare minimum, this is just going to delete it. So, yep, this is a good card, I think. Then we got Demo Bones. This is a vanilla, which does vanilla things. Also a Zenenzard reference. Yep, vanilla does vanilla things. Then we've got Mummyphant, another vanilla. At level 2, this is a 5k, and you can play that for 4. So that's again 4/5, reasonable. 3, it's a 5/6. So yeah, it's fine. Then we have got Okapandal. So this is a 4 with 2 reduction. When it attacks, it has Curse at level 1 or level 2. So a 3. So this would be a 3/3 with Curse. It's fine at level 1. Or significantly worse, at a 5/4 with curse. So yeah, again, with these curse effects, I don't think you ever want to be putting them more than level 1, unless you really want to be playing around some sort of, deletion thing. Then we've got Dark Knight Florence. This is a level 2. When it attacks with, it gains curse, and that is going to make it a 4 cost, so a 4/3 with curse. It just seems really expensive, I don't want to be spending this much to get curse, and I think there's enough cards with curse that you probably wouldn't really bother with this one. And you've got Skullfly. This is potentially your free vanilla. Again, this is fine. Then we've got Phasmobat. So this is a 3 with 1 reduction at level 2 or level 3. When it attacks, if your opponent has a spirit with only 1 core on it, you get to draw. Now this is a really easy effect to get off. Doesn't require your soul cores, and you can just use it cheaply. So it can be your 3/1 that you just swing and you draw as a filter. Though odds are, again, with something this small, it is just going to die. It doesn't have curse or anything on it. So, drawing cards is good, don't get me wrong, but the stats on this are so bad, it's so easy to just block and then die. Then you're kind of, so it's a little iffy. And you have to set it up. Not much. Purple is going to kind of do this naturally anyway, but still. Then we've got Stray Soul. This is a 3 with 1 reduction. When summoned, select one of your opponent's exhausted spirits, remove a core from it and place it into their reserve. So this is a more restrictive version of the Mummy. It's 1 cost less for that restriction, and I feel like I would always just forcing something to be exhausted is such an L, but I don't know, we're going to need to see how the game kind of plays out, how aggressive you want to be, how often you are just holding your things because you really don't want your opponent to, do something because they're exhausted. My inclination is that this is just going to be so much worse than the Mummy that you don't really bother playing it, but we'll see. Powerful effect, obviously, when it goes off. Then we come on to the Nexuses. Dark Grails. This is a 3 with 1 reduction. When placed, select one of your opponent's spirits with 2 or more cores on it, remove a core from it and place it into their reserve. So obviously this is good for getting stuff down to that 1 range, or just, generally your opponent's not going to be putting excessive cores onto units in a vacuum. Of course, against purple they very well may do. So this is going to let you just de-level them, potentially make them lose their effects. So this is a good effect. And then at level 2, during your attack step, draw a card when one of your purple spirits is destroyed. So now this synergizes really well with curse stuff, because you make your curse stuff small. You don't care if your opponent, kills it, because they're going to lose their thing as well. And now you have this here, which you've played out. Yes, it was a bit expensive. It's 5 to get it to level 2 in total. But now, you start throwing your curse stuffs in. It's curse stuff. And if your opponent doesn't block it, cool, you're dealing them damage. And if your opponent does block it, cool, you're removing their units and you're drawing cards. So I think this is a really, really nice card. Then we've got Purple Smoke Valley, another Nexus here. This is a 4 with 1 reduction. At level 1, draw a card when one of your effects destroys one of your opponent's spirits via reducing its cost to 0. So as you can imagine, this is going to be really, really, really nice in this deck. But then at level 2, your spirits with curse cannot be blocked by opponent's spirits with only 1 core on them. So this now kind of transforms your cards to be more threatening, right? Because initially you read this and you go, why would I want my opponent not to be able to block my curse things? But actually, you're forcing your opponent to either block with cards they are invested in, they want to keep around, or just take the attack. So this is really nice. I do think mainly you are going to care about the level 1 effect here, and you can probably wait a bit on the level 2, but this is a really, really good effect. Then we've got Poison Shots. This is a 5 with 3 reductions. Burst. When your opponent destroys your spirit, draw a card, and then you get to pay to use it. So ideally you're playing this for 2. What do I get for that? At Flash, select one spirit, remove a core from it, and place it into its own reserve. So this seems okay. It's just filter that also can be removing cores. But I don't know, a 2 of my cores for 1 of yours trade that I need to keep up during your turn doesn't seem great. However, during your turn, that's a little better, I guess, because you're not having to kind of leave them up, and you still have to leave them up, right? You're gonna have to go into your attack phase, most likely, and you're losing something to curse or something. But I think there's potential combo potential. There's potential combo potential here. There is potentially some combos. Man, English is difficult. That you can do. So that is an option. I'm just not a massive fan. I don't think this is great. Core Drain. This is 3 with 2 reductions. You can place for 1. Main, select one of your opponent's exhausted spirits, remove up to 3 cores from it and place them into their reserve. Now this is a more reasonable thing for me to be like, okay, well it's exhausted, bye, that's good. And at Flash, you can select one spirit that gains 2k BP during this turn. For 1, that's fine, but obviously that main effect is what you're being like, damn, that's pretty good. Being able to just remove cores. And, you know, at 3, you might just straight up, like, be deleting stuff. Anything cheap, this is, like, realistically just deleting. Your opponent's not going to invest that heavily into it. This seems so phenomenally strong. Yeah, I think this is a really, really, really powerful card. And finally, we have Bloody Rains. This is a 4 with 2 reduction, burst. When you lose life, your opponent cannot attack with a spirit during this turn unless they remove a core from it and place it into their reserve. You may then play the cost activates effect, where you can give 2k. Don't care about that main or flash effect at all. This burst is really, really good. So, obviously, it's not as good as like Firewall, where you stop attacking entirely, but the part you care about is free. So you take that life, sure, and then you go, right, now you need to decide, are you willing to just be losing cores like that? And especially if you have controlled your opponent's board to the point where most of their spirits only have 1 core on them, they can't attack. So that's much more restrictive, but you know, it is just intensely painful for your opponent to be sacrificing cores like that. Playing against purple seems like you are kind of forced to overcommit cores to like to put more cores onto it, but then that kind of has a negative feedback loop, because if they're just reducing you down to 1 anyway with a bunch of effects, that's going to suck as well. So yeah, this seems like a really, really rough deck to play against, and I'm a big fan of Bloody Rain in particular. So overall, I am super excited for purple. Purple and white are the 2 colors I'm by far most interested in. Red is a 3rd place, and yellow is like way down the bottom. I'm not super interested in yellow, but I'll play it because, you know, sweaty tryhards do be doing sweaty tryhard things. What do you guys think of purple? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel. I make plenty of Battle Spirits content, well, at least I will now, and I'll also be doing videos over all these new card reveals for set 1 coming out. There's going to be reviews of the 2 other starters, which is next video is going to be white, and the video after that is going to be yellow, so subscribe for that as well, of course. I make videos on One Piece and Gate Rule if you're interested in those, and join my Discord server for discussions on all things TCGs. That's it for the shelling, I think. Thanks for watching this video. Please like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, please. So close to 2k. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.